Welcome to episode 4 of What If Civilization Started Over, and today, episode 3 was a war. The entire episode was a war. And so, I think this time, because we only have Europe, we should start expanding the continent, or where we are. Of course, if you didn't see last episode, you need to see it, because a lot of stuff happened in Europe, like the purple team getting cooked, the brown team getting cooked, the blue team becoming massive, this Bane team getting massive. Be changing the color so the thumbnail look different, but it's the same country as that dark blue team. That team, it just looked way too close to this one, so I had to change it. And then this green country. So let's go, starting with this country, the Indian one, expanding, because they are in the perfect spot for a colonizing video or episode. Just look at where they are. And so, I'm going to say that they also start standing over there. And then I'm going to say this is the border they make. I try to make it as wonky as possible, so that looked good. Instead of it would look pretty bad if this was the border of a country. That's actually not no, that's pretty bad. Never mind. More like this is what I mean. Just like, who would want that? And it has an enclave. And I just made a face. So, India's in like the perfect. I actually kind of made India. That's not my fault. That border looks way too weird. I'm fixing it. There you go. And then, of course, this country is also in, like, the perfect spot. So I'm just going to say it kind of, like, follows the Indian border. And it does that. Of course, I don't want these countries to go too big, because I'll just make them split. I mean, if I just... Also, I should need to put names for them. Look how many colors I have to choose from. Of course, a lot of them are pretty close, so I'll make them like across the globe or something. Like that dark purple team that's, I believe, this color. Look at this. Actually, that's not that bad, now that I'm looking at it. It might not have been that color. I know it was like a dark purple, and that's not too dark. Oh, it's the color above it. That's actually not too bad, though. But, I would still want this to be, like, country over here. So, let's keep expanding. This one would look really weird if it took that one. So, even though these two were once allies, I'm going to say that the blue team, the red team declares war on the purple team to take land up around the Caspian Sea and take the rest of this side of the mountain range, and even some over here. And then the purple team looks for peace, and they get it. And there you go. The red team gets to expand, and they're gonna take all of that. They're gonna look like a glacier, I bet. They look like an eating monster. So, and so let's make this dark blue team get a gain. That's not dark blue. Let's say they get that. There you go. I was like, accidentally. There you go. The blue team's just the longest country I've ever seen. We have to expand the cold country. I'm going to actually say that they go down south. Unlike them, I know. They're kind of becoming massive. I'm not even trying to do that. Their main base is over here. Which is why, I'm sorry, this team, I bet, is a fan favorite. I'm sorry. I just have to. They lose this area. This area decides to split away. But this area would suck in real life. It would be the worst country on this map. So this country wants a lot of... It's actually pretty massive. Holy. And then the dark blue team declares war on this team. And kind of just is like, I don't not want to be small anymore. And so they kind of just take all that. And I'm going to say they also just go down south, trying to expand this way and try to cut off the red team. Doesn't work. And that's when this orange team comes in. Okay, so the orange team kind of just takes this land because they're like, free land, hooray. I'm going to give the blue this area too. Even though that's the coldest thing ever. Also, is that just a lake? I guess. And so now this country, I bet, was a fan favorite, but now they're just small. So sad. And so I guess this green country has to do some expanding now. Attack! Oh, that was really not a good idea. Oh, that was not a good idea. Okay, that ISIL is gone. I guess I'll give them their land back and a little bit more. I even given them a bit of Ukraine. I need to make this border look good. There you go. And now, because we did some expanding in Asia, I think we should just make a new thing. Let's use a this is not the green country that was over here. Noted. I'm just using the same color. You know, I'm not even going to use the same color. I'll use that color in the past, soon. Is that too close? No, they're fine. Actually, I'm just going to use, like, a light red. Yeah, that's good. We're going to say that they are a break away from all of these nations who are trying to expand, and they are going to be the first Asian country. I mean, technically, that's an Asian country. It doesn't matter. And so some people from this country, the Indian country, some people from the purple country, a lot of people from the purple country, a little bit from the red country, and some from the blue country is going to create this country and all this land to kind of just block all of these main powers from getting more land. Most ridiculous country I've ever looked at. But of course, these people being together just like do not work together. They physically do not know how to work together. Too close of colors. They physically just... Okay, that's fine. So they immediately have a split down here south with this like dark purple team. And they're like half of the country because they're mainly the Indians. And then they have another split, which I'm going to make a dark green, who are up north, and they're not the biggest split in the world, but they're still a pretty good size split. And then everybody else stays in the country. And that's when this country didn't learn its lesson about that country being made and just starts expanding even more. Trust me, I will get to Africa in a second. There you go. And then the blue team realizing they still have a pathway to expand. Cool. And then this country's like, well, we have no good land up here. We might as well just get more. So that's exactly what they do. They just take some more land. They look weird, but I don't even care. And then this purple team is like, well, I mean, we're not supposed to expand. That's why we left our country. But, you know, we might as well. And then this country's like, well, if y'all are doing it, we're going to do it too. So they expand too. even though their entire point of existence was to not expand and stop other people from expanding. Guess what they did not do? Okay, let's move to Africa. Okay, in Africa is where we're not really going to talk too much. I'm just going to say a couple things. First of all, the yellow team, of course, finding that this is not Saharan, start extending down south. Still around the coast, of course, because that's all they know how to do. And, of course, they know how massive this continent is about now. But, of course, you can't be this big and not, have rebellions. And so there's a rebellion down south. There is I'm going to do this color. Rebellion. That's way too close to that, but I don't even really care. Yeah, I kind of care. This purple color. We have so many purples, but I don't even really care. And so, this country takes all this from this yellow team. And that's probably not even going to be in the thumbnail, but I don't care. And then this beige country, I'll say, which is pretty close to yellow, but I don't even really care. So I'm going to have one more rebellion after this. And that's going to be the revival of the pink team. They needed to come back, I know. I bet they were a fan favorite. They were definitely not a fan favorite, but whatever. They even take some more land up north. There you go, new pink team. And then we're going to have one more rebellion. Yeah, like it couldn't get any worse. And it's just going to be a small one. Just like this. And so, they're kind of in a pickle. That's way too close to that color. They just lost all of that land right there. And so thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time, and goodbye.